All right, we are live, yo. We are live. What is going on, my dear brothers and sisters? Need so much minerals to stay healthy because the market is dead, guys. Absolutely dead. And what a great time to dollar cost average, eh? All you hear is crypto's dead, but man, it's just absolutely no chance that crypto is going to die, guys. And of course, we have some repositioning to do because clearly some of the moves that we've made have been invalidated. But I'll come to that in a minute. I'm absolutely finding peace, guys, amongst the shit we're seeing out there. And what's even more disappointed is that they are deliberately telling us that the bull market is over. Now, fair enough. Yes, some coins will do better than others. But I ain't giving up, man. We have to walk away collectively with a minimum of 10 to 20x. That's if it's the worst ever cycle. But that's not going to happen. Euphoria will come back into the market before you know. And there's things like the Ondo Summit. Of course, RWA is going to be very important. And I'll tell you why it's important. The adoption or the legalization of crypto across the US, I think it's going to lead to more countries adopting it. And as a result, let me take out this loop, man. Let me see what they're saying. Let me see if I can summarize
from around the globe.
All right, let's go. Let's see what
is the time to begin working more closely together to make this vision a reality.
What vision? Dump in the
Before we
bag?
dive into the future, let's take a moment to talk about the present. Today's financial markets are an incredible invention, hundreds of years in the making. They fueled global economic growth, democratized access to opportunities, and enabled wealth creation.
All right.
Yet, for all their strengths, they're still plagued by significant limitations. Limited transparency, high costs.
Oh, yeah?
Slow settlement.
What about rug pulls?
Restricted market hours, walled gardens, and manual processes. And these limitations.
I'll tell you where I'm going with this.
Many of us in this room
Crypto J. Dumped on us.
Robinhood, Wealthfront, Coinbase.
Oh, mate, listen. You'll see. Look, in the end,
each of these platforms
it all works out.
Of user ownership in siloed systems, and the underlying bank deposits, securities, and crypto settle on distinct rails.
Okay.
This fragmentation has a number of issues. Moving assets between platforms is cumbersome and slow.
We know that.
Taking days, if not weeks.
My guy.
You can't use your assets across platforms. We help to integrate USDY in a number of DeFi protocols.
Okay. USDY, we know
our
this.
chain expansion effort.
So this is part of so the stablecoin game or the stablecoin aspect is quite interesting with some of these blockchains. I'll tell you where I'm going with this.
All enabled by the composability of tokenized assets. This is the future of finance.
All right, he's a bit of a boffin. Wall Street 2.0, right?
We really look forward to discussing with all of you here today about how we can make the promise of Wall Street 2.0 a reality. But first, we have one more thing.
Now, why are we developing another blockchain? There's quite a few.
Our new Layer 1 blockchain designed specifically
for
bringing financial markets on-chain. We call it Ondo chain.
Right. So this is one of the reasons why I think Ondo is going to be quite bullish, because they're building a layer 1, an RWA layer 1, because Mantra has been quite successful, and we will explore some good layer 1s. But recently I posted stuff for the group regarding just keeping eyes and ears open for RWA projects, and not any old shit RWA projects, but ones that can actually potentially tokenize with a stable coin, and of course Ondo's charging that. So it was quite fascinating. I did post this today in the Discord. I don't think many of you got to see this, right? Because everybody's consumed with the red candles. And I love the bear markets. I think, a lot of things, a lot of mistakes that we make in the bull market are literally corrected when there's either a dip. Now, of course, this is not included in trap projects because we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the whole portfolio, where we can make mistake, obviously where we've made mistakes and where we've corrected, right? But it's not simply just buying a bunch of tokens. It's about positioning yourself to exit the market. And let's see what they say about this, because of course, is this new Ondo chain going to have a separate token? Are we going to have what's going to happen? Let's just listen to it for a minute. You can see this Apple style presentation, which I like, which is pretty good.
Ondo chain will be a hybrid public permission chain, combining the openness of public blockchains with the compliance and security features of permission chains. To share more about Ondo chain, I'd like to introduce Ian DeBode, our Chief Strategy Officer.
This is really impressive from Ondo, by the way.
At McKinsey, and has been working with our institutional and crypto native partners to make sure that Ondo chain meets their needs. Please join me in welcoming Ian.
Ondo's summit is impressive stuff.
Right. Stuff like stock splits or even dividend payouts per deal are powering the on-chain economy and being able to provide fly environments.
Anyway, let's get back to what we came here for, which is, of course, the rest of our discussions. I would say, look, just look at Ondo, and we can obviously see plenty of projects that can actually be beneficiary, but RWA, real world assets in general, I think we need to keep an eye out on. I mean, this is at 4 billion in terms of valuation. It's up 5% in the last 24 hours. Of course, on the back of this news, it's trading around $7. Average on this one has been around 65, 70 cents. So it's one of the few that I'm actually slightly up on. But what I would say is we're seeing the FDV here, 13 billion. Now, you don't have to necessarily buy Ondo. You don't have to get Ondo. I'm not saying you should get Ondo. Really, the all-time high was $2 plus. But RWA in general is going to be quite interesting, guys. So, and it is one way that we can absolutely take advantage of. Let's look at OM. See what's happening with OM. Yeah, of course. On those summit, look, has that big chop, but it's natural. This is actually obviously well into price discovery. So I think of the two right now, I would say 10 billion versus 13 billion FDV. I think Ondo is obviously slightly smaller. And I think with Ondo chain, that's what they're trying to do. So that's one thing out of the way, guys. You saw today, I mean, Bearer chain came out at 575 million. And sorry, actually, no. Bearer chain came out today. And Chintai announced a $795 million RWA deal with DPI Capital, who chose Chintai. That's another one. There's checks. There's smaller ones as well. MetaMask is introducing gasless transactions for Ethereum users. All right, that's another bit of news. Arbitrum team has announced the development of a new a new solution for L2s. L2s have been beaten down, as I'll show you in a minute. Securitize integrated with Solana to expand the RWA and tokenization of real world assets. I think Solana will be one to watch for RWA projects. And Aave has proposed its deployment for Sonic's L1. Where you at? Thank you, brother. But where you at? Ondo Summit. Where you at? Who is that guy? I want to make sure we. Anyway, guys, I will come to your questions in a minute, but I really like this chart, right? So, so this is Crypto Amsterdam's post. Big up to Crypto Amsterdam. He says, look, 2021 gets praised a lot, which is something that I covered in my last video. And but trust me, after 1,000 days in that cycle, when Bitcoin was consolidating after its first leg into the new highs, the altcoin sentiment was very terrible, and I remember that very clearly. And some of the biggest. Yo, wait. Who's this? Yeah, get lost. So the altcoin sentiment was exactly the same, guys, and the sentiment was no alt season. That was the talk of the town. Cancelled. And if you remember 2021, we had the lunar crash, right? Like incredible. Yeah, and then it said institutions won't buy altcoins, they will only buy Bitcoin. That was true. Um, New launches and new alts like Solana pumped but dropped 70 to 90%, while Bitcoin multiplied. It's also true today. Bitcoin dominance is too high, and altcoins will not catch up. And that was also true. Now, obviously, this continues, and the metrics they were no different. What is the difference, though? Of course, in every cycle there has to be some, of course, slight differences, and the main focus would be on the fact that every cycle is challenging from the one previous. 2017 was by far the best. 2021 was good, but had a lot of difficulties. Of course, 2025 is tough, and we are going through that tough period right now. Okay, so this is something that's been happening since 2016. It's been ongoing since 2016, and I think that one of the reasons why I think people either think I'm stubborn or whatever, but I'm head down, finding extra money. I don't care if I leverage. I don't care if wherever the money comes from. I want to put more money specifically into high performing altcoins. I spoke to a brother today, very close brother to me, who said, "Look, man, I've got some money to deploy. Shall I deploy it into these other old currencies?" And I told my brother, "No, absolutely not. Definition of insanity is to do the same thing and expect a different results." Yes, fair enough. Some of the smaller cap altcoins that we've been buying are underwater, and I'm looking to hold those. I'm not looking to sell them. Like Warren Buffett said, you don't lose until you sell. Right? You don't lose money until you sell, right? So whilst I'm all for culling, and I have actually streamlined my portfolio, I'm I'm absolutely focused on buying good quality projects that that are on available discount. So the sentiment in terms of like from every single aspect is exactly the same as it was previously. So we're no different. Now you've got big channels like Crypto Banter saying that altcoin season will not happen. And yes, of course, not everything's going to run together. But if you look at this, right? If you go to previous cycles, what I love about this is you will see, right? So this is so check this out. So Trader Main said this is not 2017 institutional money buying BTC, not dumb money buying shit coins. So basically he's saying that we're not going to see an alt season basically. And this is a direct tweet taken from the dip highlighted here. Said Emmanuel. Okay, so this guy goes, do you see what I'm seeing? Yeah. While people are ready to commit suicide and dump their altcoins and say this has been absolutely F, yeah, this shit has happened many times before. So look, too many alts. The money is spread too thin, basically, or too much is what he's saying into different coins. So it's all relative, right? And it's Metcalfe's law, right? So it's a bigger cycle. There's more participants. There's definitely more money and more institutions. And there's a pro crypto president who rugged the meme coin. He hasn't rugged. Ultimately, in the long run, that's going to be very bullish for crypto. But you've got to be in such a small box mentally, right? And think narrowly to absolutely believe after 4 years of slug, the the market's going to go away, and all of a sudden we've all become macro analysts. We want to look at the M2 money supply. We want to look at the Fed's balance sheet. We want to no, man, dumb it down. Sometimes the simpler you make it, the more your life is easy. If I told you this guy, this tweet here on the chart on the previous cycle, if I told you that sentiment was look, this was December 2021, right? We had the dip, but you could actually place that anywhere in this cycle, right? And of course, you've got 22nd of December here. Jassy tweeted, this tweet loses my hope for alt season, right? This tweet loses my hope for alt season. And, you know, the sentiment, when you plot the sentiment on the actual, on the chart, honestly, it's quite staggering over here. Is it me or is everyone else in loss on 90% on of alts, basically? Is it me or is everyone at a 90% drawdown from the alts they hold? So this is Brandon, right? And this is what the sentiment 21st of December 2020, right? The sentiment goes on. Guys, honestly, I'm not saying mistakes have been made. I'm not saying you can actually recover them from the lot. But what I'm saying is this shit happens time and time again like clockwork. Yeah. And the other thing I would say is if you look at the next bull market, I mean, technically it could be 2028, right? That's a long, long, long time to feel sorry for yourself. So what I'm gonna hopefully ask the community is dust yourself, right? Hold what you believe in. Hold the ones, especially the promising altcoins, like this guy is saying, that are 90 or 70 or 50% down, whatever the case might be, that you believe in. Don't sell at a loss. The stuff that, you know, all the shit coins that you don't need, just dump those into a good bag and you'd be surprised how well you do. And of course, I don't say just sell stuff. You know, I'm still holding my Mavia. I'm still praying for a better day. The volume's giving me a bit of encouragement, but that's mostly futures, right? There's nothing in the chart that says gaming season is coming anytime soon or that chart's going to pick up. But I am going to hold that one because some of the stuff that I got rid of, like shit meme coins that are down 90+%, I've created enough funds from those to actually create to purchase one decent altcoin. And if you're holding tons of meme coins, right? 44 billion has been wiped out of the meme coin market. 44 billion, right? And I know some communities firsthand who had all of these shit coins, meme coins, and it is absolutely going to be a tough time to see those back. But amongst those, there are a few good quality ones that I think will potentially come back. So why are we like this up to now? So if BTC is this is it, and this is going all the way back to 2021, and it's a nightmare. I mean, this is 80% down, percent down against Bitcoin over time, and once we get any life of this, then altcoins should run. But we're not millions of miles away from that. You know, we've seen normally I would say we've seen the Luna, FTX. What we've seen in the last couple of weeks has probably been, of course, because the market is bigger, it's been way, way worse. And you've got a president that is buying crypto dumping crypto. I think, the talk of Melania token, that was just to take the piss. So we're seeing an RSI here on the daily that is, um, that is completely oversold. And we are still in this channel, bottom of that channel. I'm expecting some reaction from here for the prices to shoot back up, right? Next few weeks, we may be just, going sideways before ultimately making a move to the upside. But it's good so far. Some of the alts that I was actually expecting potentially could go to zero, they haven't. Like, they're literally holding out, perhaps 50% or 25% or 30% from where they were a few weeks ago, which is good. Now, ultimately, I'm also keeping an eye out of the S&P. I think ultimately we're such a, we're correlated now to the stock market. So we have to watch the stock market as well over time. But I did say the title of my video was, um, ultimately, I'm looking at labor market. I'm looking at stuff coming out of the US. And I'm looking at the Trump administration, potentially, obviously, the Fed balance sheet is way, right now, is the lowest it's been for a while. And they need to start buying assets. Now, ultimately, there is another elephant in the room, which is, let me show you what the elephant is. And it's a big one. So look, other sentiments as well, SPX has crashed now to about 500 million. So Murad came out, pay attention to coins that are hustling, vibing, bull posting, of course, showing up and diamond handed, regardless of price. Those are the ones who will go to which will go to tens of billions. Of course, Quinton here, Bitcoin funding rate when negative. This usually makes a buying opportunity. Very experienced, like that's the kind of stuff. And it's something I tweeted today. Fed policy change potential accelerator. We don't know what the impact of the deportations are. Labor supply sector potential GDP drop. Job losses across the board and increase inflation. Of course, this will all have massive effects on the economy. But there was a report out today that I posted, and this was right. Nothing crazy, nothing insane, but this is the US initial job loss claims. So forecast was 214K. The previous was 208, and the actual now it's 219, right? Not a massive, but you can see, look, previous to forecast to actual, and this is obviously way before these deportations, and that is going to show through in the job market, right? Eventually it would be in a positive way because obviously a lot of these people will go out of circulation. There'll be more jobs available, and that obviously means there's going to be less labor in the workplace. Now I'm looking at this as this data continues, right? We're going to get the labor market report, but this could definitely push policy change, right? It definitely can push policy change because what's important here is as this numbers come out and everybody is now in capitulation mode, as you saw on the chart, there will be at some point a reversal that's going to happen. Now, whether it happens, everyone's like, oh, is it going to happen 6 months? Is it blah, blah, blah? Who cares? Like, literally, we will be able to take some time to go sideways, reposition our portfolios, and then ultimately Bitcoin does what it does. Of course, another chart to look at is the DXY. And I did talk about this a bit today, but we need to see a rejection of this at some point for the markets to cool down. So all in all, that brings me back over here. It brings me back over here. So how we doing portfolios wise? So the top ones I'm not too concerned about, right? The biggest concern of the top of these top holdings is Casper. Casper has been the one that has shown the biggest weakness. But if you look at Casper and Tau, you could see that Tau's down. What is it? Tau's down by 28%. Sui is down by 24%. Casper 37. Of course, Sonic, and then you've got Say. So these are the kind of big layer ones that you could actually build a base around. Now, if you're too late for Sui, which a lot of people are, because this is sitting at what, $9 billion market cap. For me right now, if I was to load up on a potential high cap, it will be none other than Tau. The stuff that I'm researching, the stuff that I'm reading, the EVM compatibility, the subnets potentially dropping more tokens, the fact that it's an ETF, it has a grayscale ETF. You can buy the shares for $7. So if you look at the market cap, 2.7 million, so 10x would be 27 billion. Sorry, 2.7 billion, 27 billion. You've got to have a blue chip, right? I think Sonic is a dark horse out of that. As soon as Monad drops, I'm getting the hell out of Say, right? So for me, Say is a drop. And again, sub $1 billion. It just goes to sub $1 billion. And there's nothing happening on chain for me to be bullish on Say. Of course, they've got a lot of money. And at some point, I could go back into Say, but Say is just my waiting back for Monad, right? So they haven't dropped. Very smart as well, because there's been downtrend after downtrend. So Sonic, guys, do not complain. When I give you the big caps, you mans don't buy the big caps. When we talk about small caps, you mans buy the small caps. All right, there's an element of greed there. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like always. Always do your own further research. Nothing I say is financial advice. Everything I say is what I buy. But definition of insanity. The chances are, if you were listening to small guys like myself and other YouTubers, the chances are you would possibly have a slightly better, what I call judgment, with less less of a fog. Okay, so I want to, as we move into the next phase of the market, I want to clear the fog. Okay, this channel is going to give it to you straight as it is, right? No one should feel sorry for themselves, but we can make big changes. Just don't listen to these bad boys telling you that the 400K market cap project is your way to freedom, because clearly it's definitely not. All right, that is a sign of disaster, guys. We played that game, we tried it. All right. And like Joey said, shit's going to zero before I sell. No. It won't go to zero before you sell, but we have to make adjustments, right? What you have there, right? Casper, for me, I will not add to my Casper bag, right? Right now, Casper has to give me a lot of love to either continue holding or show some, and it will over time. Show some cojones, right? The best project I can see there for value, right, is Bitensa Tau. Do not think at 330, well, it came down to about 250 when I put out a buy alert. But Tau is 2.7 billion. And I genuinely believe Tau is a safety net. It has been for me, and it will continue to be. Of course, that would be the one that I would zone in right now if I was actually looking for a large cap. Screw everything else. You might as well buy quality. You are complaining the market is down. Any new money you bring into the market, try to buy something that is going to hold your portfolio up, right? The mistake is not buying the low caps. The mistake is not having a safety net, right? So why am I so convinced out of my top 5 large caps, this is the one that's the chosen one, right? So it's all to do with some recent developments that are taking place in the background, and one of them. Let me just go to. So one of the reasons is, and I did talk about this previously, but if we go into the EVM compatibility, so if decentralized AI, and again, this is probably worth more than AI agents and everything else, and we're talking about open source AI, something that's been triggered by DeepSeek, right? So you've got the subnets. Now, more of these subnets will be dropping tokens, but some of them, of course, are real Web2 businesses. Okay. Now, what's so bullish about this is as you have the EVM chain available, if you look at the subnets, you've actually got some giants in here. So you've got blockchain, subnets. Let's have a look. We've got, so you've actually got normal. So all of this list here, these are non-blockchain AI businesses, right? Look at this. Look at this. It's ridiculous. And there's, of course, some giants in there. But if you look at the blockchain itself, okay, let's go to validators. So this is also the official oracle for the S&P 500. All right. Now, once you look at that, guys, you've got to be interested in stuff like this. The blocks are all up, and the transfers are happening now. This is something that wasn't available previously because of the limitation of the absolute EVM compatibility. Okay, so keep your eyes on this. I think this is going to be one that is, again, I'm not saying switch your portfolio into this, doesn't make sense, but if you're bringing new money into the market, you've got to take a note. You've got to take a note here. And in addition to that, not the validators. So 40%, I think, of the rewards go to miners, 40% go to validators, or 41, of subnet operators, and then 18% goes to stakers, something along those lines, right? But I would absolutely keep my eyes and ears on this one. There's something I wanted to show you. The smart contracts. So, and then again, this is of course associated with another project as well, or projects that will come and be built on the Tau subnet. So that's one of them. Okay. So then we continue down. So you understood my strategy here. I think Sonic is probably one of the quickest 5x's for me, 3 to 5x's. I think Sonic is going to go over a couple of dollars quite fast. And then what it does from there, I don't know. But it's still very new. And of course, the USP of Sonic is that they pay developers, right? So it's actually probably the most profitable chain for a dev to build on. So you could hold that. Then you've got this next class of cryptos that I hold, okay? And so now that we got out all the big layer ones, Sui, I'm going to hold it. If we get to $7.20, that's a 10x for our community. Of course, Sui could go to $20, $30, even $40. Nobody knows. But what I would say is the strongest coin in the Sui ecosystem outside of Sui, believe it or not, is a meme coin by the name of Lofi. I've been scanning the entire blockchain, and it's been sitting there solid. So Lofi is a good one. Cetus is down heavily, right? When Sui runs, the ecosystem will run. So in summary of these layer ones, absolutely keep, absolutely add, absolutely monitor. Of course, I'm giving Casper the benefit of the doubt because my entry is very low and I know there's a lot of people suffering, but Casper is on the radar to see where it comes back from here. Where do we go? Right now, you could buy 100,000 Casper for $8,500. Unbelievable. We haven't seen these prices since November 2023, right? So obviously, this has been a huge downtrend. And of course, it broke 10 cents. And even though I talked about this gap between 7.5 to about 8.5, almost a year ago when it was all-time high, I said, "Look, there's a gap here that's not being filled. Perhaps it's doing that, but it's on my radar." And I can see here Mary saying, "Should we swap Casper for Tau?" Well, Casper for Tau market cap is very similar, but I'm very bullish on AI. Of course, I'm still up on my Casper back. So are you, because we've been buying it together all the way back in the early days of late 22 and early 23, bro. But what I would say is, for now, keep it in the assessment, because the real catalyst for Casper is only going to be a massive listing. I don't care, I don't care about their shit coins on the KRC20. I don't give a damn about all of that. I think Casper's real catalyst has to be a tier one listing. If it doesn't get that, or the noises don't go back to Binance or whatever, then you can still have the chopping block ready. But I'm gonna assess this in the next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks are sideways. Probably not a good time to judge. I only chop off a crypto from my portfolio once I see the market moving, and that shit just stays there, right? That if there's no reaction to the next market move, or a small pump that we get or anything, I'm gonna chop it. But the ones I would keep here is Sui. I will definitely buy tons of Bitenso. If I'm bringing any money into the market, I would dump it into something like that, because for me, this is anything between 5,000 a coin to about maybe $9,000, which is a bit optimistic, but this could definitely be 10x at around 600,000-700,000. Sonic is optional. Sonic is optional. I have a small exposure to Sonic because I just want to have a fast kind of, let's say, 5x next time the market pumps, because I fully understand this is undervalued, of course. And then says on the chopping block, I'm going to swap that shit for Monad. And then, of course, let's go to the next, let's go to that was the Champions League. Now let's go to the Europa League places. So Aerodrome Finance, I've been buying this like crazy, dollar cost average into it, because I know Aerodrome is going to be the central liquidity hub for Base. I'm bullish on Base. I'm bullish on Toshi and Brian Armstrong and whatever. All these regulations we're talking about is going to favor Coinbase, right? So I'm gonna add and keep and stack Aerodrome Finance. Now Aerodrome is not listed on Binance, and I see that as a catalyst. Puchy Penguins, I mean, I don't give a damn about this, to be honest. I've got small money in it, and I can sell it anytime. You can't be bullish on meme coins regardless of their quality. And of course, whatever I take out Puchy Penguins, I could always increase my Axelar bag. Today they announced, what was the announcement for AXL? So do you know the Phantom wallet that's actually been integrated into the Sui that's been integrated into the Solana wallet? Guess what? This is all powered by, none other than XLR, right? So ask yourself, if big money is going to rotate into the market, what do you think big money is going to buy? Because retail is like hopeless right now. They're gonna buy institutional coins, and XRP Ledger is obviously cross-chain is powered by Axelar, and now Sui Phantom integration is powered by Axelar, right? Very undervalued. Never really, like, tokenomics are pretty good, and this is what they're saying to any chain, and they are also an RWA play. Let that sink in for a minute. So in this next group, I'm definitely keeping my eyes, ears, and everything else, including my nuts, in Axelar, right? Aerodrome, yes. Touchy Penguins, don't care. Axelar, yes. Toshi, of course, has pumped. Now it's given us back everything. What's the market cap? Still big. I mean, we are keeping some of our gains, but Toshi, of course, I'm just going to keep it. Now let's talk about AI16Z, right? Anything that comes out of places like Pump.fun, of course, the utility is great, but I wasn't surprised these tokens were dumped harder based on their availability to snipers. from the beginning anyway. So if you were bullish on this before, you might as well dollar cost average into it. I mean, I can't say anything else. This has been Aether, $200 million, 22 million in market cap. Yeah, I'll keep it. I just don't see why Deepin would not go crazy. Cubic, I think this is an excellent buy. 1,761 per billion. They've been doing really well. Now, the thing about Cubic is their white paper is incredibly impressive. And I do have exposure to Cubic. I think Cubic's going to be a very, very good project. Maybe get a tier 1 listing as well. The founder is incredibly impressive. And this went as high as $12,000 per billion tokens. Right now it's $1,700, right? So could this do 30x, perhaps 20x? I mean, we shouldn't talk about X's right now. We're swimming in the red. But Cubic is a very good one. I'm keeping Peak because I think I do like the idea of this going into just becoming the biggest deep in layer 1. Peanut, I've already made incredible amounts of X's on Peanut. And whatever I have is a moon bag. It costs me absolutely nothing. Manta is on the chopping block, but at 37 cents, I'm not going to sell it. I'm not stupid. This is an interesting one. Now, this did not run with the AI agents, and they had the longest exposure to AI agents, Lucy, than anyone else. So it's on that. It's on death row. It's on relegation battle. This one may rotate that back. I think Task AI is better, if I'm being honest. But historically, this is always pumped. Yeah, I'll keep Zentry. I'll keep Devi. Cetus Protocol. Well, it's a good place to add, to be honest. Now let's talk about Alephium. So Alephium has, look, the volume, I was just about to say volume was low, right? 59. I mean, this is one that, of course, is in the respiratory room. And what they've done, what's keeping me in Alephium is this, right? You have to ask me, yo, what's keeping you in this? Now, price action wise has been absolutely awful, right? No doubt. But this is what's keeping me in there. Okay. This is something that 99%, if you go back to the Murad tweet, yo, go for people that are working hard, posting, projects that are working really, really hard to get the showcase. So this is Alf. And this is what they're doing. Fully doxed. Lots of developers. And of course, attended many events. Now, the pre-mine, interestingly, if they've raised that money, I think they can afford to buy back, pump the token, that kind of thing. But at the moment, it's in this keeps me going. The fact that they're constantly presenting and they're constantly working. Now, the day that I obviously, the moment I see they're not doing that, I think for me would be the end. I'd pull the plug for sure because there's no other way. But they are working. This is throughout the whole week. They've been putting stuff out, and I'm happy with that. So I'm going to keep my gem for now, despite the price not being favorable at all. They are real people doing real things, doing real work, and I cannot complain about that. There are tons of friggin' bigger projects where they won't even answer your tweet or they won't get back to you. So they're building, they're posting, they're updating, and that's all I can ask for. Of course, it's in line with everything else that's happening with crypto. So it is what it is. I got into it knowing it's a small cap. I'm going to keep it. Now, based AI. So you notice that the ALF, when I looked at this morning, was 800K. To now is basically based AI is another one that is on my chopping block, right? It's in relegation battle with this again. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to hold it because I don't really sell at these lows. Liquidity is low, volume is very low, and a lot of things right now are a promise, and I really want to see what the code is. So I'm not selling it on the basis, but they've lost a lot of whales have dumped this project, right? And what I want to see is, I mean, there was a brother in my Discord who pointed out a whale wallet went from $47 million to $6 million. But what the F are these creatures building? Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but this thing is pumping out code, and nobody bloody knows what these codes are. Right? If I take you here, you're gonna see this. Look, how many minutes ago? 14 hours ago. Yeah, AR map overlay for FPS games. This is all bullish stuff. And this is the codes that they generate, these creatures. All right. So anyway, it's on relegation battle. I hope you're very clear with that. I am considering my position all the time on these projects. Of course, I hold it now. It's the cheapest it's been. Then the rest of it is smaller sizes. I mean, Pinlink, I'm going to keep. Exterio, this is a gaming project. And look at that, guys. You know, for the whole week, hasn't shown any weakness. And then, of course, I've got a few other bits and pieces there. Carrot is, again, no volume. Reploy, decent volume, but on a big discount, $2.70. And then, of course, Tectum, you know, I don't care for Tectum anymore. That stuff is it's in the past. And, of course, it's another shit one here, 01 Labs. Another shit one here, Mint Layer. Another shit one here, Corporate World. Shit. But I'm gonna keep all my shit, right? I'm in my shit. I'm locked in my shit, but I'm gonna keep it. So, guys, I hope that's quite comprehensive, right? Smash the effing like because there's 125 of you here. Yeah, I'm giving you guys my time, effort. Don't need to be here, but I'm here every day or as much as I can. So at least give me a like. Not too much to ask. Plus, obviously, I get a lot of verbal abuse for being in crypto. Anyway, I'm going to come over to you, legends, and big up yourselves, brothers. Yeah, let's effing go, bro. Now, we're going to be fine. Good evening from Yorkshire. That's my bro. You know, it's a bad day when Unicorn Fart Dust is down there. Loki in the building. My brother. Patriot in the building. Yo, what's going on, bro? Ross in the building. Mr. Tweets there. Big up yourself, bro. And DCA. Yeah, absolutely, man. DCA. What up, Pip? Hope you're well. Thank you, my brother. Much appreciated, Pip. Johnny, my bro, over there in Lisboa. Hope you're doing well, brother. Mary, any hope for Casper come back? My portfolio is down. Yo, bro. Yeah, I mean, I told you I'm still gonna hold mine as well. Just for a little while, we need to constantly assess. Yo, Cynthia, how are you, sis? Hope you're well. Mr. J in the building. I'm doing well, brother. Any thoughts on the Trump World Liberty Finance moving all of their ETH out of their portfolio on the day of the crash? Yeah, so listen, man. I am absolutely sure. Look, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding ETH, right? And I'm not gonna say it's either negative or positive because I don't actually know the facts. But what I would tell you is the Trumps have been buying crypto, which is obviously what's bullish for us. Have they ultimately been good for us so far? I would say it's a mixed bag. Of course, we had that pre-election win pump, but over long term, I think they will be, the Trumps in total anyway will be good for crypto to a certain degree. And then, of course, we need to get out of crypto before they do. But yeah, moving their ETH, I mean, I'm not really sure. I need to look at that portfolio. That's insane, man. If he did that, that's insane. Only coin that screen is Mantra. Bullish, absolutely bullish, bro. One of the mistakes I learned so far is to have Bitcoin and, of course, gold on my portfolio. A must. Yeah. I mean, listen, you can always add Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin buying is going to be something that we all have to do an increase at some point. We'd be all right. Absolutely, bro. Um, seriously, have to admit, nobody would have ever predicted the altcoin dump. Absolutely, Turbo. And most altcoins are back lower than the bear market prices. And of course, but the most hated ones, are up. I can honestly tell you, almost all of us had a H bar, a algo, an XLM, an XDC, all the ISO tokens. I mean, I've owned a ton of that stuff during the bear market. I really did. There was not, crypto was very limited, but at some point, the market has a way of separating you from your bags because you start to listen to popular opinion. And I think we spoke about Algorand on this live stream. We spoke about XRP on this live stream based on stuff that I was hearing around. But it is what it is. I mean, I think from here, newer coins, this cycle will pump. Do you think Ponke will come back? I mean, look, we can't rule anything out, brother. We really can't rule anything out. It's definitely one of the better ones, I would say, out of these shit coins. Yeah, Mantra's killing it too. Yeah, Scottish, big up yourself, bro. Yeah, Mantra is big. It's absolutely done a lot of gains so far this cycle. We'll all look back at these moments, such happiness that we bought Casper during these dips. Duval, look, I hope so, brother. Mr. Gerard in the building, my brother. Hope you're well. Peace and love from South Africa, DXB. Yo, Bafana, my brother. Okay, not financial advice. Is Ord, Mav, Foxy, AI Tech decent DCA buys at the moment? Deve is holding strong. So Deve is definitely very strong. For the rest, I will go with my thesis, which is when the markets are down, you buy quality, right? Because look, at the end of the day, as much as I love those projects that you have there, listen, I'm sure you've got decent bags of them if you've been exposed to the crypto YouTube. But what I would say is, do not repeat that same mistake. Start something that look at the market, and I'm genuinely saying this to all of you from the bottom of my heart. I've got no reason to tell you this, but like I said, definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results, not holding your hand up, not taking accountability, not saying that you're wrong and not correcting those mistakes. I think the mistake that everyone's going to end up dying with is not structuring that portfolio in a manner that gives you access to different types of risk curves. That's a pretty hard way or harsh way to learn that lesson. Go to your computer tonight, open your portfolio, and critique these things like a business, right? What's this shit doing, right? Let me see. Okay, what's my belief in holding this? What's my exit point? You got to ask yourself all these things. But any new money coming into the market right now, buy the Rolls Royce. Yeah, the Rolls Royce Phantom is cheap right now. Buy it, right? It's not even second hand. It's actually second hand because we've seen the performance of it. Buy the good quality and keep your risky ones and assess how that goes in a diversified portfolio, bro. I hope that helps, man. But no, I wouldn't throw more money into those. Should we swap Casper for Tau? Damn, that's a good question, bro. I think I gave you the answer already. Mavia DI looks stupid, but everything else looks stupid. That's big up yourself, Has. Hope you're well. Yeah, the D-book is solid, man. You know what I was actually looking at today? Morpho. So I looked at few like yeah, this is a juicy price. This is a brilliant, especially if it comes down a bit more. 400 million. But look at the TVL. Are you freaking kidding me? It's unbelievable. Biggest small is the ill. That one there. Hey, you want to buy alert? You want to swap your meme coins for something? Morpho on base is going to do really well. Of course, Mary said that the other one was, yeah, deep. Let's have a look at deep on Sui. Let's see what this one is saying. Biggest small is the illest. 12%. So market cap 500. Yeah, for see, it's almost like look at the so I would still between these two, I think look at the difference in TVL, right? We're looking at 3.5 bill, similar market caps, right? Two good chains, Sui and of course Base. But Morpho is a friggin' giant in the making, man. But both good projects. I just like Morpho better. I think Morpho has a huge potential moving into the next side, next run of the bull market. Task AI has shown to be not only solid, but very, very resilient. Now, Task is something that I did a buy alert on, but I haven't actually bought. Okay. So what you're seeing is a very nice slide. Now, if this goes under 20 cents, I think it'll make sense. Look at that. In the last 24 hours, I mean, I was looking at this today, this morning, at a 138 million market cap. It's lost some more. And it's looking juicy right now. But I would say there's a long way to come down. I would be interested around these levels, 14 to 17 cents. And it is going to come down some more because it looks like the chart here really double bottom. Yeah, there could be. Yeah, wait for the dip below 20 cents, but it's absolutely solid. Why is based AI not moving? No tier one exchange listings, no nothing. Yep, brother. I think you know why. We've just been talking about it. Yeah, smash the like, guys. Smash the like. You're all a bunch of pre-rich people that just consume themselves with you act like day traders, right? And that's what the market is doing to your head. I know friends that are sick right now. I know people that are even hating to go outside because their portfolio is down. And that's just nonsense. Play with the kids, diversify your mentality because you're going to be absolutely making it, providing that you take some cues in the right direction and you don't keep repeating the same mistakes. I think that's going to be important. Bought XRP at 40 cents. I do not hate it. Lol. AI gyms are all suffering. Yeah, screw bloody AI agents and meme coins. Right now, just holding and adding more. Congratulations, brother. Look, not often people will absolutely rejoice that, but we are going to rejoice you, man. Smash the like. That is solid. Look, at 40 cents, I did find that I had some crazy info. I went to a dinner in Dubai, and somebody told me that Ripple had madness coming, and I didn't really believe it, man, at the time. But I remember thinking, put some leverage on that, and I did. I put a long on it, exited at 52 cents, made nice money, but I never thought holding XRP as spot. I still hold a little bit in my ledger because I just realized I needed to add the XRP account the other day, and there was a bit of XRP in my ledger into my new ledger device. You know, when you add the accounts. But congratulations, my man. Hold my dog to the moon. Yeah, definitely. Yo, listen, dog go to the moon. Let's talk about the Bitcoin ecosystem because there's one giant um, in the making. Dog go. Yeah, let's go with. Dog go to the moon. Yeah. No, let's talk about what was the project. Let's Let's go with the let's check this Bitcoin ecosystem, guys. There is some movement here. It's just called Dog, sorry, yeah. They've changed it, obviously, Dog Bitcoin. So when you look at this, right, there's going to be one project that will be quite impressive. And at the moment, that project will have a massive TVL. It just escaped my head, man. Oh, yeah, sorry. Let's look at TAP protocol. TAP, keep your eyes and ears on this one. Okay, yeah, Tapify. So they keep changing these things, man. The reason I would say, look, this is going to establish some crazy TVL. And there is a pretty good update on this. So basically what you'd be able to do here is Bitcoin DeFi in the native layer 1. So they've got their roadmap, they've got their token upgrade, they've got their staking and transition to track the new beginning. They did release a video here. Show you. Runes on tap. So there's going to be a Bitcoin ecosystem here. Where's the update? Come on. So mints on, okay, stats on Bitcoin and Doge for the past few days. Yeah, this is quite a
Coin. The digital universe exploded into existence. In the same way that the Big Bang created all the ingredients and building blocks for everything we experience and own in the physical world, Satoshi's creation of Bitcoin achieved the same for the digital world. And just like in the physical world, as time progressed, organic patterns of physical matter started to emerge in the form of elements, like hydrogen and oxygen forming water. And these were inevitably identified and organized into what we now know as the periodic table of elements. And since the moment of Bitcoin's inception, it's now possible to look back and identify organically emerging patterns within Bitcoin's raw data. This phenomenon now has a name: DMT. No, not that DMT. Digital matter theory. Digital matter theory states that the organically occurring, non-arbitrary data being produced in every Bitcoin block can be mapped into a digital periodic table. As with physical elements such as gold and diamonds, some digital elements are rarer than others. And as with physical elements, digital elements on Bitcoin must also first be discovered, but once they are, they can be used to create almost anything: in-game items, metaverse skyscrapers, art, or PFPs. The Track network enables the discovery of digital elements by indexing raw Bitcoin block data to unearth these data patterns. Without Track, digital matter would still remain undiscovered to this day. And as the only protocol to support the creation of non-arbitrary assets, TAP is proud to be the home of DMT, powered by Track, accessed by TAP. DMT, built by Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're not playing. They are not playing. There's also the entire DeFi. Let's see if we can get the DeFi bit. Put out a fantastic DeFi video the other day. Yeah, if I get that video, that was very impressive. But they explain how TAP is going to be basically a native settlement layer for Bitcoin, which is going to be quite impressive, in my opinion. So, yeah, watch out if if Dog's going to grow, if Runes are going to grow, and BRC20 is going to come back. I think a good gateway could be TAP protocol, guys. So yeah, hold on to that, bro. Do you think Axelar and Ondo may be good to DCA? Yeah, I think Axelar is definitely. Ondo is bit because as a community we've entered on Ondo below $1. We've got a decent average, but yeah, I think look, Ondo is at the moment really depends on whether you want a slower, or smaller return. But I am bullish on Ondo, of course. The one that's actually in a DCA zone or undervalued is AXL. Change GPT, GPT Wars. Oh, sorry, this is a different, not Change GPT. What's the ticker? GPTW. Yeah, bro. Let's have a look at this. $2 million market cap. See, Mexian Uniswap. It's on base. Look, gaming is off at the moment, and it hasn't been a strategy for me to try and accumulate low caps. Probably spend half of the video talking about definition of insanity and all of that. But I do like to watch gems, of course. It's not my strategy now to accumulate these, but the GameFi AI agent revolution is. So it's the stuff that is this playable? It's quite responsive actually. Website is nice. And how do I? So you got to download it, terms and conditions, and then you got to check the white paper. GameFi AI agent revolution. Yeah, this could be something to actually put down on the watch list, and you know just take a look at the tokenomics and stuff like that. But right now, it's definitely a strategy which I'm trying to minimize because every penny that's available could go somewhere good. But you can see here, look, it's been performing. It's fully circulating supply. We don't know, and let's have a look at their X page. Let's give them a follow so we can monitor this for favorable times. Yeah, good shout, man. Thanks a lot, bro. I am a degen anyway, but at the moment I don't have that degen feeling. Any idea if Marvia or AI tech will be moving positively? Vishwa, we hope so. Right now, there's no sign of life in the market. Why DCA when it's so low? Just put all in. I think it's better to it's better to see that movement of the market. For me, anyway, sometimes it's also availability of USDT and how you position that. Right, you can't time the top. You can't time the bottom. Is DMT good? Loki, that token, that project has made me more money on leverage than I could have hoped for. But as a project, it's not good. No. And even now, leverage on the leverage side, it's actually low liquidity all the time. But definitely no. So yeah, everyone, I think I've answered all of the questions. I went through every single comment. I would like to thank each and every single one of you. And my brother, sorry, I missed this. What do you think of Polkadot ecosystem? I do like it. I think let's have a look at Polkadot. Let's have a look at the ecosystem for Mr. T. So here's the funny thing. Look, Polkadot hasn't done much. I think the ecosystem will wake up. You've got tons of different stuff on here, but what I would say is, you know, the main Polkadot token here is being absolutely underperforming. However, it will run at some point. But look at the market cap right now. It's one of the biggest ones. I mean, this has been so disappointed. It's been unbelievable. But yeah, at some point it will wake up. But I do see Polkadot. There's obviously way better projects in my opinion. Ecosystem could actually be a banger too. So yeah, that's my opinion on Polka so far. Yeah, and that brings us to the end. Your thoughts on AI tech? AI tech we hold and is probably almost very close to where we got in from previously back in 2023. But guys, yeah, thank you very much. God bless you all. I think we've done an excellent job. We've clarified a lot of stuff. Do apologize if I haven't answered your question, but you've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to stop the crying. You've got to look at your mental health. You've got to make sure that you tried your best to bring some money into the table. If you've lost some money, you would gain it back. Be positive. Whatever you do, whatever you hear from YouTube, always verify. Always ask yourself, can I go to bed with what I'm holding? Ultimately, that will be your answer, right? Sometimes we've got to be able to go to bed without any worries, because I know a lot of us have lost tons of money. If we sold 2 weeks ago at the height, so just during Christmas or post Christmas, around about January the 8th, we would have absolutely made 70% of where we are now in terms of stable coins if you just ditched everything. But it doesn't work like that sometimes, and the market teaches you harsh lessons. And yeah, stay strong. We'll probably do another live stream, guys. God bless you all, and have a good night. We've done an hour, 11 minutes. Cheers, guys.